she did was dirty.
Cris
Dirty
Cyborg.
what she did with the video.
Cyborg's just the biggest and the best. She's so powerful, man.
You don't like her. How does she cheat?
She takes steroids and she walks into the cage with a weapon and tries to hurt women with it.
I suffer bully, abuse. People call me, I'm a man, I have a dick. How is the boss make fun? They are athletes. Lie, he's continue doing this, and who's gonna stop him?
Hold on, he was making fun of her. He was hold on, bro. Dana reckless. Hey man, like, comment, subscribe, bro. Y'all want more of these videos? Let me know in these comments, bro. And check the playlist, the MMA, UFC, Pride playlist for more of these videos, man. Man, that's crazy.
If you love stories from the legends of the fight game, hit that like button and subscribe. Now let's step into the world of Cris Cyborg. Born on July 9th, 1985 in Curitiba, Brazil, Cristiane Justino Venancio grew up in a working-class family alongside her brother Rafael. Her parents divorced when she was young, and she watched her father struggle with alcoholism.
I was suffering with my father's alcohol problems, so I believe when I was training, I could ignore the problems I had in my life.
Despite these hardships, she was known as a calm, well-behaved child, and sport became her outlet from an early age.
She was only focused on sports, always calm.
She was introduced to combat sports as a teenager.
And when I was a teenager, my dad loved boxing, and he's always watching Mike fight. But I never connect to the fight, but I always like to sport. Before I do track and field, I play handball.
And she enjoyed playing handball.
Everybody watched Mike fight.
And then I started with 12 in high school, college.
Cristiane often trained with the boys team as well as her school squad. She quickly excelled, reaching the national level as a teenager and earning scholarship offers from private universities.
Sports helped me a lot with scholarships. Every school I studied at, I had 50% covered, and it was a good influence on me because I had to train and get good grades.
After high school, she studied physical education in Curitiba and planned to become a professional handball player while completing her degree. But in 2004, a chance encounter changed the course of her life forever.
And then when I was in university, one guy saw me. He's black belt from Shooter Box Gym.
A student I graduated told me, "There is a girl who plays handball. She is a very good athlete. She is strong. I think she would be good as a fighter." I said, "Bring her to the gym. I want to meet her."
After the game, he said, "You know, I think you can be a great fighter." And he's giving me a Shooter Box card.
Shootbox was already one of the world's top mixed martial arts.
Hold on, go back, go the fuck. What you see all them goats?
Box card.
Shootbox was
once you know she from Brazil and she's strong, send her to Shootbox. Yeah, send her down there with them boys. You see them boys? The Savages and the Head Punt God. Yeah, send them down there. That's crazy. That's insane. Shout out.
Already one of the world's top mixed martial arts teams, home to pride legends such as Vanderlei Silva,
Savage.
Mauricio Hua, and Anderson Silva. Cristiane was hesitant.
I look at him crazy, said, "Nah, I'm not. Never think you're gonna be a fighter."
Eventually, Cristiane decided to give it a shot and walked into the gym.
Okay, one day I show up to the gym, and there was Muay Thai training. I watch.
She became interested in Muay Thai after realizing she had a natural fighter's mentality.
And then when I did my first training, it's nice because when people punch me, I want to punch back. Then this is the one thing you cannot teach.
That mindset convinced her she might be suited for combat sports.
And then, okay, I started learning. And then in 3 months training, I told my coach, you know, I want to do one fight.
Her parents didn't support her decision to pursue fighting. Her mother hoped she would follow a more traditional path and become a dentist.
I thought, okay, I'm not dentist, but I can take tooth off, you know.
The gym soon arranged her first fight. However, instead of competing in Muay Thai as she had expected, she was booked for a mixed martial arts bout.
It's no Muay Thai, it's MMA. You're gonna have to learn little things and more. I thought, okay, cool.
She said, okay, cool.
I did my first fight. I was doing good, but I lost the first fight. In Brazil, in the event, you can step on the face, on the people on the floor. And then when I go step under her head in the floor, she pushed me. And then I fall, and I dislocated my elbow. And after the fight, I put my elbow in place and asked for rematch same night. And when I start to fight, I said, man, I'm born for this.
Put my elbow,
whoa! One she refused to let.
She said put her elbow in place and wanted to fight same night. Bro, who is these people, bro?
Define her.
And after this day, I stopped doing handball. I stopped running track and field and just MMA. I love it.
Her decision would change Brazilian women's combat sports forever. At Shootbox, she trained alongside the men and threw herself into the work. It was there that she met a veteran fighter who would become her partner in life, as well as in the cage. Evangelista Cyborg Santos, a longtime Shootbox staple.
At Shootbox, I met my ex-husband Cyborg.
Often in the beginning, she found it difficult to be able to fight. She would finish the fight and fall into despair. I kept telling her to keep training. The longer you wait to fight, the
Okay, because I was like, what's
She was a
Cyborg?
little hasty, very anxious to want things to happen very quickly. So I was kind of her psychologist. So we were always there, always providing support.
In 2005, only months into her training, Christian and Evangelista Santos were married. She was just 19 years old.
He is a person who helped me with sports in my career. My nickname Cyborg came from him.
Following the wedding, she adopted both his surname, becoming Christian Cyborg Santos in the record books, and his ring name. 6 months after her debut, on November 2005, Christian returned at Storm Samurai 9 and defeated Vanessa Porto by unanimous decision, earning the first win of her career. She later described the hard-fought bout as one of the toughest fights of her life, and the moment she realized she belonged in mixed martial arts.
We never had a woman who could keep pushing and handle the training at that time.
I saw that I was born to be a fighter.
Throughout 2006, Christian fought a steady run of Brazilian regional shows, primarily on the Storm Samurai circuit, and her power began to announce itself.
To say she is a female Vanderlei Silva, for me is an honor to be compared with Cris.
She also got to try her hand at Muay Thai,
I could see
knocking
that.
out Edna Gloria in just 90 seconds. After that, she stepped away from fighting for nearly 2 years due to marriage
Some problems started in my relationship. I was very young.
and a lack of opportunities for female fighters in Brazil. In 2008, a new promotion in the United States began giving female fighters a major platform. Seeing an opportunity, Cris Cyborg and her team signed with Elite XC and made the trip to America.
And then I see the opportunity in America, and I moved to America for stay 6 months, and then almost 10 years already.
In her promotional debut, she faced
Damn.
Shayna Baszler.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all, bro. No, I'm gonna keep that to myself. But I don't know what I'm thinking.
Promotional debut, she faced Shayna Baszler.
Tomorrow night, we'll be making her anticipated U.S. debut. She's undefeated at 4-0. Please welcome Christian Cyborg.
I'm very happy to be here. This is a great opportunity to show my work and show the work of the female fighters.
And defeated her by second round TKO.
Damn. Sleep though.
Cyborg comes to North America with plenty of hype, and MMA fans, you can believe that hype. She remains unbeaten, Gus, at 5-0, and you know that Gina Carano watching with vested interest. Two of the better
Gina!
in the world. Wouldn't it be nice to
Hey,
see
Gina.
Carano and Cyborg get it on?
She followed that with a
Gina,
unanimous
you know what you do. See, why she got... I almost melted in my seat just now, man. What's going on with Gina?
Wouldn't it be nice to see Carano and Cyborg get it on?
She followed that with a unanimous decision win over Yoko Takahashi in October 2008. Around the same time, she earned her Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu purple belt under Cristiano Marcello. In early 2009, Cyborg signed with Strikeforce as talk of a super fight with Gina Carano began to grow.
As the face of female MMA, you're the best known fighter, which means you've got a big target on your back. All the ladies are gunning for you.
Oh my gosh, Cyborg. Let's do this. Let's do this.
Before she could face the sport's biggest female star, she first had to make her promotional debut. On April 11th, 2009, Cyborg faced Hitomi Akano.
143.5 pounds for Akano. Please welcome Christian Cyborg. 152 is the initial.
152.
Despite missing weight by 7 pounds and nearly seeing the fight canceled.
What had to happen was there were some meetings, and obviously Akano had her palms creased a bit. I mean, they had to make a deal to bring her to the cage. She was unwilling to do so.
The baddest woman south of
Oh, she was like, I'm not fighting that goddamn 7-pound heavier maniac. I feel you, babe, bro.
Cyborg.
I feel you.
We know there are differences between the male and female anatomies. Should we be cutting her some slack?
Missing your weight by a half pound or a pound is bad enough. Missing it by 5 to 7 pounds is ridiculous.
She stopped Akano by third round TKO and secured her place opposite Carano.
She crazy, man.
So Gina Carano looks on. The next time Cyborg steps in the ring, it won't be so easy. One of the main issues, you came in heavy for this fight. Why?
She had like a girl problem. Cris wants the belt. She wants to be the best female fighter ever. If Carano is in her way, she will take Carano down.
On August 15th,
Why she keep
2009,
doing that, man?
She will take Carano down.
Yo. Let's move on, bro. We're not even going.
On August 15th, 2009, Cris Cyborg faced Gina Carano for the inaugural Women's Featherweight Championship. It was the first time women had headlined a major North American MMA event.
Do you believe that the winner of this fight will truly be the greatest female mixed martial artist in the world?
Yes, the winner that comes out of this fight is going to be #1.
Carano entered as the face of women's MMA.
It's Cyborg takes over.
Yeah, Gina.
Wait a minute, the bell!
That was at the bell.
Hold on, what happened?
He stopped it at
this fight is going to be number one.
Carano entered as the face of women's MMA.
It's Cyborg, it's over. Well, wait a minute, the bell. That was at the bell. It's over. He stopped it at the bell.
Gina was a beast, man, and she hung in there as long as she could.
Started at the
Victory
bell.
made her the most feared woman in MMA and marked the final fight of
Say,
Carano's
swear to
career.
God.
145-pound world champion, Cris Cyborg.
She wants to thank Gina Carano for the opportunity, and she does everything for the fans. It's always for the fans.
Cyborg defended her title against Marlos Conan on January 30th, 2010, stopping her with strikes in the third round.
She is unstoppable. Who do we have for this machine that is Cyborg?
She followed it with another
Cyborg.
dominant win over Jan Finney in June.
Bum, bum. Ooh, bum, bum.
Jan Finney's got to tie her up. She's down. Finney is just taking so much punishment.
Finishing her with a body knee in the second round. And cementing herself as untouchable at 145
That bite knee had to
pounds.
hurt like a motherfucker.
Without a doubt, the greatest female fighter on the planet.
After the fight with Jan Finney, Cyborg's Strikeforce contract had to be renegotiated. However, it took around 18 months to finalize a new deal. During her absence, a new rising challenger began taking over the women's 145-pound division, Ronda Rousey, who quickly gained attention after scoring 4 straight first-round armbar victories.
Your fight, they last about as long as Kim Kardashian's marriage. 4 fights.
That's crazy.
4 wins.
He's
4
wild.
first-round armbars.
However, in Cyborg's absence, Rousey chose to move down a weight class and challenge Miesha Tate for the 135-pound title instead.
Ronda, you said win or lose, you were going to go down to 135 pounds and set your sights on Miesha Tate.
Yes, that's still what I want to do.
After re-signing with Strikeforce in 2011, Cyborg returned on December 17th against Hiroko Yamanaka.
Promoter Scott Coker had a very difficult time finding opponents that would want to face her at 145.
The fight lasted just 16 seconds.
Damn.
And again, she goes down.
Damn.
It's over.
Sleep her.
Mamma mia, Cyborg retains the title.
With Cyborg overwhelming Yamanaka
Left
in
hand
blitzing
hook, though.
punches.
I want to see her and Ronda Rousey. I want to see that fight.
That's my goal.
Calling her the female Mike Tyson.
Still one of the baddest women on the planet, Cris Cyborg.
There is a lady now who has talked about maybe moving down to 135, but she is currently at 100.
Hey man, who was
I'm talking about Ronda.
Who was Ronda husband, man? Somebody let me know, man. Ronda, man, what's up, man? What we doing?
Moving down to 135, but she
How old
is
is Ronda right
currently
now?
at
Like 40?
145 pounds. I'm talking about Ronda Rousey.
I think she's speaking too much. Anywhere.
But the celebration did not last long. That same December in 2011, Cyborg's personal life changed dramatically. After more than 6 years of marriage, she and Evangelista Santos divorced. Christian returned to using her maiden name, Justino, in formal settings, but kept Cyborg as her fighting name because it had become part of her identity and career. Almost simultaneously with her divorce, the biggest controversy of Cyborg's career broke. On January 6, 2012, the California State Athletic Commission announced that her urine sample from the Yamanaka fight had tested positive for stanozolol, an anabolic steroid.
So you've never taken any kind of steroids ever in your training, in your fighting career?
Her main problem is losing weight. A person she knew for a long time in Brazil in the camp she was training offered it to her to lose weight, and that's how she accepted it and found out.
Had you ever taken this before to lose weight, this particular product?
No.
The fallout was severe. The Yamanaka result was overturned to a no contest.
Her friend told her to take some pills to lose 8 kilos for the fight and said that it wouldn't test positive on doping, that it was okay to take.
Cyborg was suspended for 1 year, fined
Dang!
$2,500, and stripped of her Strikeforce.
I'm gonna keep it 100. I don't know what's going on, but I know once you get that label on your name, it's hard.
Featherweight title.
During this hard moment in my life, I never gave up on going to church and training because I believe everything happens for a good reason.
The cheater label would follow Cyborg for the rest of her career, fueling rivalries and giving critics an easy way to attack her reputation. As Cyborg sat on the sidelines serving her suspension, Ronda Rousey defeated Miesha Tate in early 2012 to become the new women's bantamweight
I thought she only defeated Miesha Tate in the UFC.
easy way to attack her reputation. As Cyborg sat on the sidelines serving her suspension, Ronda Rousey defeated Miesha Tate in early 2012 to become the new women's bantamweight champion. Almost immediately, talks of a future super fight with Cyborg began. However, now that Rousey held the 135-pound title, she insisted Cyborg would have to cut down to bantamweight if she wanted the fight.
She was champion, and I knew she was doping, but I couldn't prove it. Now the situation's changed. Now I'm the champion, and she's stripped of her title for good reason, and now she has to come to me. I don't hold her anything.
When Strikeforce was officially absorbed into the UFC in January 2013, Cyborg's contract transferred along with the rest of Strikeforce's roster. Around this time, she had also signed Tito Ortiz as her manager. However, at the time, the UFC did not have a 145-pound division for Cyborg.
Dana do not like Tito.
She would have to drop to 135 pounds to challenge Ronda Rousey for the title. Cyborg's management argued the cut would be extremely difficult and potentially unsafe for her.
She's basically come out and made it very public. She cannot drop down to 135. First of all, do you buy that?
No, not at all. If you're pumped full of steroids and the lightest you can get is 145, then if you're clean, it's assumed that you could get lighter.
At the same time, the UFC did not want their bantamweight champion competing at a higher weight class, leaving Cyborg
and they want her to lose.
Tito Ortiz eventually negotiated Cyborg's release.
I don't think it's a really big coincidence that 3 days after they announced out of competition drug testing in the UFC, she filed to be released,
allowing her to sign with another promotion, Invicta FC, which had become a dedicated home for women's mixed martial arts.
I want to grow together Invicta.
Through Invicta, Cyborg rebuilt her reputation piece by piece.
She had her issues with performance-enhancing drugs, paid the penalty, managed now by former UFC light heavyweight champion Tito Ortiz.
She debuted at Invicta FC 5 against Fiona Muxley, stopping her in the first round.
I never even heard of that. I never even heard of Invicta. Damn.
She then challenged Marlos Conan for the Invicta Featherweight Championship, winning by 4th round TKO to become champion.
You made history by being the first female champion crowned on pay-per-view.
I'm very happy the champion come back.
With gold around her waist once again, attention quickly turned back to a potential super fight with Ronda Rousey.
I'm the one that has the belt. She's the one that should come to me. And I'm not going to be making exceptions or bending over backwards for someone who's a cheater and disgrace.
Cyborg and the UFC discussed the possibility of her cutting to 135 pounds to challenge for the bantamweight title.
Instead of walking around and saying that everyone should make all kinds of exceptions for her and create divisions and catchweights just for her. I don't know where this sense of entitlement comes from.
And contract negotiations began. While those talks continued, Cyborg stayed active by competing in 2 Muay Thai bouts, winning one by knockout and losing the other by decision. Then, in 2014, tensions between Cyborg and the UFC reached a boiling point. At the time, Cyborg was trying to secure a deal with the UFC, but negotiations were complicated by the strained relationship between her manager, Tito Ortiz, and UFC President Dana White.
Of course. He was working really hard on her career, I can tell. He's fucking running around doing his own shit. He already f***ed her career up. Can you imagine trying to do f***ing business with that buffoon? Yeah, have a better interaction, a more intelligent interaction with the monkeys at the zoo than fucking the buffoon.
Believing his involvement would hurt her chances of getting signed, Ortiz stepped down as her manager so Cyborg could continue pursuing a UFC contract, though he remained one of her coaches and training partners. During interviews surrounding the proposed fight, Ronda Rousey referred to Cyborg as an it.
She can make 135. She definitely can. People take steroids because they're insecure, and I don't think her insecurity's gone away. Stop taking steroids and make weight.
I don't think she's right to say something she cannot prove.
While UFC President Dana White compared her to Wanderlei Silva in a dress and heels.
When I saw her at the MMA Awards, she looked like Wanderlei Silva in a dress and heels. And she did.
The comments deep.
What the fuck wrong with Dana White? Bro, I ain't gonna lie, Dana, I couldn't have been one of them fighters. I'd have been put my hands on you, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I'd have been put my hands on Dana. Yeah, couldn't have been me. What? I put my hands on Dana a long time ago. He said, what? Taking steroids as insecurities. No, fighting hurt. That's probably what they said, man, it hurt.
Fine, stop taking steroids and make weight.
I don't think she's right to say
Ronda,
something she cannot prove.
I like
While
you,
UFC
but Ronda.
President Dana White compared her to Wanderlei Silva in a dress and heels.
When I saw her at the MMA Awards, she looked like Wanderlei Silva in a dress and heels.
I can't believe he said that.
The comments deeply upset Cyborg.
I suffer bully, abuse. People call me, I'm a man, I have a dick, because the joke he's doing.
Who later said she had been bullied throughout her career because of her appearance.
He's the boss. How is the boss?
That's crazy, I ain't gonna lie.
They are athlete.
Walking up the stairs, jacked up on steroids, beyond belief, and looked like Wanderlei Silva.
Before you have Cyborg have her first fight in the UFC,
have Tony roast her.
I don't even know where I'd begin. Where would I start? Probably
Her
like...
dick.
This is not right. I have a daughter. My daughter have a problem in school already because this. He's damaged my brand, my self-esteem. He's lie. He's continue doing this, continue bullying me, and who's going to stop him?
What I meant was she had the same physique as Vanderlei Silva.
The war of words only intensified the
That
demand
don't make
for a
it
fight
right,
that
you
fans
goofy-
desperately wanted.
When coke heads who beat on their wife say dumb shit, just let them say what they want, but you can't do nothing. But he got so much money, he got so much power. I mean, what can you do?
To see. Around 2014, Cyborg
crazy.
met her future partner, Ray Elbe, who became a major source of support throughout the remainder of her career. As Elbe became more involved in her business affairs, tensions grew between him and Tito Ortiz. 2 months before her first title defense in 2015, Cyborg finally reached an agreement with the UFC and signed a contract with the promotion, on the premise that she would eventually cut to 135 pounds and face Ronda Rousey. However, because the UFC still did not have a women's featherweight division, UFC parent company Zuffa allowed her to compete in Invicta while under a UFC contract. This arrangement let Cyborg stay active at 145 pounds while the UFC weighed its options for the division. She steamrolled Charmaine Tweet,
Cyborg smells it. All right, her team's in enough.
Faith Van Duyn, and Daria Ibrahimova.
She's stiffing them too.
All by stoppage, defending the belt repeatedly. As she was still signed with the UFC, the long-awaited super fight with Ronda Rousey appeared to be getting closer, with Cyborg working to prove she could make the 135-pound limit. However, in November 2015, everything changed when Holly Holm stunned the world by knocking out Rousey at UFC 193.
Hurt my heart.
With Rousey no longer champion, the UFC's plans shifted. Rather than force Cyborg down to bantamweight, the promotion agreed to a 140-pound catchweight and finally booked her long-awaited UFC debut against Leslie Smith at UFC 198 in her hometown of Curitiba, Brazil.
The world beater,
Cris Cyborg.
Cyborg crushed Leslie Smith in just 81 seconds, earning a huge ovation from her hometown crowd after years of waiting for her UFC debut.
It's been a long road to get here. I have to thank everyone for coming here. This is a dream come true.
She followed it with another dominant win over Lena Landsberg in September 2016. But the extreme weight cuts were taking a toll.
Don't do this in my body all the time. I don't know, maybe something really bad gonna happen with me. I was there, cut to weights, 26 pounds.
In November, Cyborg told Outside the Lines that UFC president Dana White had never offered her a fight at 145 pounds.
Say if you want to keep your job, your next fight will be on 40. I think they don't want to open my division.
After her win over Lena Landsberg, the UFC made several offers to Cyborg. First, they wanted another 140-pound catchweight fight, but Cyborg declined, saying the weight cuts had left her weak and anemic. Then the UFC finally decided to create a 145-pound division, mainly for Cyborg.
We made a commitment to this woman, and she's had a rough go here in the UFC, you know? She hasn't been thrilled with things that have been said, things that have been done, and to be honest with you, we've made some mistakes when it comes to Cyborg. The least we can do is get our shit together and get this woman a fight for the title.
They finally make a 145-pound women's division, which is huge.
The UFC offered her a shot at the inaugural women's featherweight title with 8 weeks' notice, but she felt her body had not fully recovered and turned it down. A second title offer followed for UFC 208 in February 2017, with 11 weeks' notice, but Cyborg again asked for more time to recover.
She said, no, I still want to take a break.
The back and forth sparked a public feud with Dana White, who accused her of repeatedly turning down opportunities.
It made me scratch my head going, why would you do that? Here's your opportunity to shine. They made your weight class. And she didn't want to do it, and I said, okay, I support you. But she needs to understand that the show goes on.
I had offered 3 fights to Cyborg. She turned them all down. And then we just found out Cyborg just tested positive for a banned substance from USADA. This is 30 minutes ago.
Get out of here.
And I thought it was strange. So she was turning down all these fights. Not so strange now.
In December 2016, Cyborg was notified of a potential USADA violation linked to a substance used during her difficult weight cuts.
She had taken a diuretic.
She's got a bunch of issues because she really did wreck her body getting down to 140. Like, I think she's saying that she takes in too much water now, and her body's like trying to hold on to water, and that they gave her a drug to diminish the amount of water. I talked to a couple of doctors about this. I asked some questions, and they all gave me that snake face. Bitch, you know. With her background too, it's like, fuck, man.
Her team argued it was part of a medical treatment, and in February 2017, she was granted a therapeutic use exemption.
They have weighed this case and given her her a retroactive TUE, which is not something we have seen. As a result, she is free and clear now to fight.
With the case resolved, Cyborg was cleared to compete and could finally pursue a UFC title. However, when the UFC introduced its first women's featherweight title in 2017, Cyborg was not selected to compete for it. Instead, the inaugural championship bout was booked between Holly Holm and Germaine de Randamie. Cyborg was furious, but Dana White insisted the new division needed to move forward.
There's one very clear contender that looms in the background, and that is Cris Cyborg.
I want to fight everybody. If Cris Cyborg is the one I have to fight, I'll fight her.
Around this time, Cyborg also had a falling out with Tito Ortiz. The relationship soured after Ortiz publicly congratulated Dana White and the UFC on creating the women's featherweight division.
I seen Dana post it on Instagram, and I said, good job.
Despite Cyborg being left out of the inaugural title fight.
I get a text from Cris saying, what the whose team are you on?
Feeling that he was not fully supporting her.
It hurt me.
Just emotional.
Excuse me? I put my name out on the line for you, girl, when nobody would.
And so what's going on, I think she needs to not take it so personal, because let's be real, they create it for her.
Yes.
She's the best in the world by far. It's not the end of the world for her. No. You're going to be champ. Yeah. They're just keeping the belt warm for you.
It's like she's making the same mistakes that I made. I made some bad mistakes in my career against the UFC, and I wish I never would have done a lot of the things.
Now that the featherweight title existed in the UFC, Cyborg was forced to vacate her Invicta featherweight championship to pursue UFC gold. She was expected to challenge Germaine de Randamie for the new title, but the fight never materialized. De Randamie repeatedly refused to face Cyborg, citing her past steroid suspension, which ultimately led to the UFC stripping her of the belt.
But I do think as the champion that she should fight the best in the world, and I think that Cyborg is the best in the world.
Make it very clear, when you go into that division, you know who you're going to be fighting. Basically, Cyborg owns that division. You're going to fight Cyborg.
And sometimes, you know, in life you make decisions, and you know, when you make a decision, it has consequences.
About 2 months before her UFC title fight, Cyborg found herself at the center of another controversy. After months of being mocked online by fellow UFC fighter Angela Magana over her appearance,
Cyborg is ruining the 145 division. They built this division because of lies, because she said that she could make 135, but she never could. She could never make 135. A crybaby victim.
Who is this girl? Who's this?
Everybody else to be at fault except for her.
The two crossed paths at the UFC Athlete Retreat in Las Vegas in 2017. The confrontation turned physical, with Cyborg punching Magana and later receiving a misdemeanor battery citation.
Do you feel like you were assaulted by Cyborg?
100%.
You should have been assaulted. Keep your mouth closed. People like to talk junk, things not consequences. Slap them. Keep your mouth closed. I hate when people talk crazy. Then when they see you, she assaulted me.
Cyborg.
Of course, most definitely. I have medical bills. I'm not gonna pay those. You fucked up big time. You can't do what you did, and I'm gonna get you as hard as I can get you. People are accusing me of cyberbullying, but man, how many fighters would be in trouble for that? And I mean, she has coming. She's a cheater.
The incident sparked debate across MMA, but Cyborg used the moment to speak out against bullying, saying she had spent years being ridiculed over her appearance. Cyborg also reconciled with Joe Rogan.
And I said, hey, I'm sorry about the jokes. I promise no more jokes. I want you to succeed in the UFC, and I wish you the best of luck.
The experience would later inspire her anti-bullying work outside the cage.
Good to see you, Kenny, without mask. I miss the days when Vanderlei Silva and Brock Lesnar had all that hair. I bet you could destroy a toilet. See how rude people can be? Stop bullying.
Cyborg was originally set to face Megan Anderson for the vacant UFC featherweight title, but Tanya Evinger stepped in as a replacement. At UFC 214 in July 2017, Cyborg stopped Evinger in the third round to finally become UFC champion.
It's been a long time coming.
This is perfect time because I think I'm at the top of my career now.
New UFC Women's Featherweight Champion, ladies and gentlemen, Cris Cyborg.
She defended the belt later that year against Holly Holm, winning a hard-fought 5-round unanimous decision. Then, in March 2018, she crushed Yana Kunitskaya by first-round TKO for her second successful title defense. After the fight, she celebrated by handing out 222 cheeseburgers to homeless people in Los Angeles.
A real nigga.
Go down to Skid Row in celebration of Chris's victory and help those less fortunate than us.
However, nothing lasts forever. Cyborg's third title defense came against UFC bantamweight champion Amanda Nunes at UFC 232 in December 2018. In the week of the event, the entire card was moved from Las Vegas to California after issues surrounding Jon Jones' drug test disrupted the schedule. Cyborg later said the last-minute change affected her preparation.
I'm starting to call everybody for them change the flights, change the hotel, cancel. But you need to pay for this. You need to pay for change your flight. And then see who's going to deal with this.
Despite entering on a 20-fight unbeaten streak and having not lost in 13 years,
That's
Cyborg's
crazy.
reign came to a shocking end. Nunes caught her during an early exchange and knocked her out in just 51 seconds, becoming the first woman in UFC history to hold titles in 2 divisions simultaneously.
Amanda
After
is
more than a
dangerous.
decade of dominance, Cyborg was no longer champion.
You can't deny that she's the best ever. That's what this fight was for.
Do you want to fight her again? Is that the fight that
No.
you would want immediately?
I don't know immediately, but I think I have to talk to FC. My team had to talk to FC. But I don't run from the fight. I'm a fighter.
Cyborg had 1 fight left on her UFC contract
Felicia
and
Spencer.
defeated Felicia Spencer by unanimous decision. After the fight, she immediately called for a rematch with Amanda Nunes.
After this victory, is your next goal to get another shot at Amanda Nunes?
Is that blood? Oh!
For sure.
Hold on.
Ask for rematch.
What is that on her head? Oh my, is that bro, is that a gash in her head? Oh my God.
After that fight.
But backstage, her relationship with the UFC finally collapsed. Cyborg confronted Dana White over claims that she did not want the rematch.
She doesn't want to fight Amanda Nunes.
Like saying I'm scared of fight Amanda Nunes. This is liar because I text him after the fight saying I want the rematch. This is damage my brain.
And her team later released an edited video of the exchange that appeared to support her side.
They f***ed up.
They
when
mean
tried.
Cyborg's team.
Cyborg's team. Whoever it was that edited that video, that lied and put words in his mouth is so fucking stupid that whenever I'm talking in public, I'm not telling the truth, which is not what he said at all.
That video was, you can tell it's so full of shit.
When the full footage emerged, Cyborg apologized, but the damage was done.
You think he would say that in a public forum to Cyborg when they're face to face like that? And you don't think you realize there's cameras around?
What she did was dirty. With the video, what she did is one of the dirtiest things that you can do to somebody.
Dana White publicly announced that the UFC was out of the Cyborg business and released her from her contract.
Dealing with her has been a nightmare the entire time she's been here. I will not match any offers. Done deal. She is free and clear to go wherever she wants. We're out of the Cyborg business.
Cyborg responded by accusing White of years of bullying and disrespect.
He's bullying me around, bullying me in internet, and I suffering bully everywhere because this. I have a daughter, I have a father, and I don't think it's nice this, and never have saying sorry for me.
Meanwhile, she's running around saying she better get an apology from me. Oh, he's bullying me. Bullying you? You've been here for 5 years. What are you talking about?
You said she's a man.
Bringing their long-running feud to a bitter end.
I agree with him 100%. And I don't think Cyborg's a bad person. I think her management and the way they've handled things
Brandon,
have
you...
completely fucked her.
In September 2019, Cyborg signed with Bellator on what was reported to be the biggest contract in women's MMA history.
My goal is going to be the only female fighter hold the 4 different major titles in the same division. And I know with you guys I can do that. And I just want to say, Cyber Nation, welcome to Bellator.
She made an immediate impact, defeating Julia Budd in January 2020 to become Bellator featherweight champion.
Cyborg, it's the Bellator featherweight world champion!
Congratulations on your 4th world title. Ladies and gentlemen, Cris Cyborg.
Is that John
And the
McCarthy?
first fighter in MMA history to win world titles in Strikeforce, Invicta, UFC, and Bellator. She
That's
successfully defended the belt against Arlene Blencowe, Leslie Smith, Sinead Kavanagh, and Blencowe again, extending her dominance at 145 pounds. During this run, she also began a professional boxing career, winning her first 2 bouts in 2022. After briefly exploring free agency, Cyborg re-signed with Bellator in 2023 and defended her title for a 5th time by stopping longtime rival Kat Zingano at Bellator 300. In 2024, Bellator was absorbed into the PFL, bringing Cyborg onto the new roster. That October, she finally faced Larissa Pacheco, one of the most dangerous challengers of her career, and won a unanimous decision to become the inaugural PFL Super Fights Women's Featherweight Champion. The victory made Cyborg the first fighter in MMA history to win major world titles in 5 different promotions. Along the way, Cyborg also stayed active in boxing, scoring knockout victories in 2024. She then defended her PFL title title in December 2025, submitting Sarah Collins with a rear naked choke in the 3rd round. Cyborg continued building her boxing record, scoring 3 more knockout victories in just a few months. Then, on March 28, 2026, she achieved one of the biggest accomplishments of her career. Fighting at her own Nação Cyborg event in Brazil, the 40-year-old stopped Paulina Cardona to win the WIBA Super Welterweight World Championship. The victory made Cyborg the first fighter in combat sports history to simultaneously hold recognized world titles in both MMA and professional boxing. After the win, she immediately called out Clarissa Shields and announced that 2026 would be her legacy tour, the final chapter of her legendary combat sports career.
This year is going to be my last year.
Bro, nah. The only person that beat Cyborg is Amanda Nunes? Literally the only person.
I've been prepared for me to retire. Completed this year 21 years in the sport. And I'm
That's
very
crazy.
happy.
In 2026, as Rousey prepared for a fight with Carano, she again attacked Cyborg at a press conference.
Obviously, a cheating, roided up bitch that totally cheated you out of your title that was deservingly yours. So,
Bruh, come on, y'all don't gotta tear down somebody else to big up somebody else. You ain't gotta do that, bro. Ronda, I love you. You my personal favorite, Ronda. You my person. But you ain't fucking with Cyborg, okay? Cyborg would have knocked you out. I ain't gonna. She did the same thing Amanda Nunes did to you. I ain't gonna keep it on it. Let's keep it real.
Kerr, and you're the best.
This time, Cyborg laughed off the comments, pointing out that more than a decade had passed and insisting the sport had moved on, even if their rivalry never truly had. Off the canvas,
Hey, man, they
Cyborg
ain't
found
fight.
stability in her personal life. Ray Elbe and Christian got engaged in 2017, and they settled in Huntington Beach, California, where they continue to live and train. Although she has no biological children, Cyborg has often described her niece Gabriela as her daughter. She brought Gabriela from Brazil to live with her in the United States, a decision she says transformed her life outside of fighting. A devoted Christian, Cyborg has credited her faith with helping her through years of criticism and controversy. Away from competition, she runs women's self-defense programs, advocates for anti-bullying initiatives, and operates her own promotion, Nação Cyborg, helping develop the next generation of fighters in Brazil. Cris Cyborg's career spans the entire modern history of women's mixed martial arts. More than 2 decades after her debut, she is still competing for championships and making history.
She's the greatest female fighter of all time.
It's hard to argue.
By the time her career finally comes to an end, she won't just be remembered
that's
as
Amanda,
one of the
but-
greatest female fighters of all time. She'll be remembered as one of the most important figures in the history of women's combat sports.
That's a fact. Damn, she got 5 world titles. That's crazy. That's crazy. I ain't gonna lie, bro. The way they did her, though, they was doing a lot of bullying. I'm giving her that. A lot of bullying. I don't know why. But look, man, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think about Cris Cyborg in the comments, man. And I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. No doubt.